So I'm going to be showing you some water cultured orchid upkeep. So we're going to remove all the orchids from the vases and wash them out, examine the roots, and then refill them up with some fresh water. So this orchid here, pretty much all the roots look pretty good on this one. Nothing that's starting to decay or anything like that. It has a new leaf coming in as well, so this one's good. On this one, as you can see, there's some roots that have gone bad. You can tell because they're either squishy or dried out and dead like that one. This one is firm here at the bottom, but as you can see, there's a section above where the root has become squishy, so it's gonna need cut off because eventually the bottom would also die back. So I'm trimming off the dried out roots that have died. Here's another little part of the root that's squishy, just the one branching off there. Up there you can see where the root has started to die at the top and in the midsection there. So we're just going to go ahead and clip this one at the top here since it has died at the top. A couple of these roots have dried sections at the top of them, but for the time being, I'm just going to leave them and trim them later on if needed. The ends of these roots have a little bit of black, as you can see, which is the beginning of some rot, so we're going to trim above the black on each of these and get rid of that. And the rest of these are pretty decent. Alright, so on this orchid, you can see some of these flowers are starting to die back. I'm just going to leave them until they fall off. You don't need to pull them off, they'll fall off on their own. And then here's a root that is a little squishy. We're going to cut it. There's some more of those dried out roots. Some over here. And a little bit of a squishy root there. Dried out dead root, and then this one looks to be good. This orchid doesn't have many roots, most of them are good except for this one has dried out, so we're going to cut that one off. These are good. Not much to do on this one. Fill my sink up with a bit of water, and then I'm going to soak all of these orchids that we cleaned up. That way we can soak off any debris that might be clinging to the roots, so that way once we put them back in their clean vases, we don't dirty up the water that we just put in. We want to keep the water fresh. So we're just going to rinse these off, get anything that might be clinging and floating around